Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. It's my weekly show about what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this is the first episode of 2019. And I've reset my goals for the year, followed the same format as last year. It's a bit daunting this time around. I need to paint one more model than I painted in the previous year. So that's 886 miniatures and 181 pieces of terrain. And then try out 18 new games. So here we go, once more into the breach. To do that many miniatures roughly breaks down to like 3 models a day. So yeah, like 90 miniatures a month. No, less than that. It's like 2 and change. So yeah, it's not too terrible. It should be okay. We should be all right. So I need to paint roughly 14 or 15 or 16 models a week. I painted 11 this week, which isn't too bad. And mostly worked on stuff for A Song of Ice and Fire. I got clearance coming in today, the day I'm recording this, to play some games, and I painted up some Boltons for my burgeoning Neutrals army, but mostly right now they're gonna be the true Warden of the North and lead my Starks against his Starks. I've also got some stuff coming up for Age of Sigmar. As you might have seen, there are some Gloomspite Gits on the horizon, and Owen is frenziedly painting goblins, because goblins are, in his cold dark heart, goblins are Owen's probably number 2 or number 1 favorite thing. And so having a whole army of like new Troggoths and goblins and stuff has him super jazzed. So he's working on some Moon Clan stuff, and obviously he'll probably add some new stuff when it comes in. So I'm painting some AOS stuff to play him next week so we can get a battle report done. And you can check out my review of that up here. Or just by going to my most recent videos on the YouTube page. So let's take a look at what I got done and what is coming up. So here's the done pile for this week, for the first week of 2019. And I got done, you know, the great friend maker of our time, 2 units of Flayed Men for my Boltons, and or any other army I want to just put 20 points of kill you into. At this point, this is the most horrifying unit in the game. They're 10 points. They're also the most expensive unit in the game. They're heavy cav. They have exploding 6s on their attacks. They have a panic modifier basically for panic tests when they fight. And they have a 2+ save, which is just the only other thing that has a 2+ save is the mountain that rides. So yeah, they're horrifying, and having 2 units of them is a good way to get your car keyed in the parking lot on game night. And then I painted up Mr. Ramsay Snow, the Bastard Bolton, who you might notice looks very different in the miniature game than in the TV show, and that's because he's kind of a greasy dude in the books. He's not really a handsome lad. And then I painted up Theon Greyjoy, Reek. And did mine a little different. Mine's kind of all black and blue and beaten up. You can see I used some like glazes and stuff to make him look a little more tortured, a little less like he's just a naked dude walking around, a little more like he's just being made an example of, black eye and stuff like that. And then I painted up my Dreadfort Captain, who comes with my Bolton Cutthroats, and some Bastards Girls, who are the Hound and Archer unit, are what is on the horizon for this army. So yeah, there it is. Super fun to paint. They were airbrushed with my good old what's my favorite color? Burnt umber. some golden high flow burnt umber. And then I did the old P3 Privateer Press crimson shade, crimson base, something sanguine base on the sort of like KP bits, and that's some good old coal black on the banner there. And then actually used Boiler Black, which is a new P3 metallic on the armor and stuff. And then just various washes and highlights. They're super simple to do because they're mostly just wearing like heavy metal, like blackened armor. And they're a lot of fun. So yeah, so there's 2 units done. The bases are done with Valhalla Blizzard. Yeah, Valhalla Blizzard, which is the technical paint from GW. And then those are some Mountain Toughs from Army Painter. And that was it. That was this week's painting. And so here's some stuff coming up. First, my Hound and Archer unit here, the Bastards Girls. I got them all primed and sanded. And I've got my Game Night Roost Bolton. Big shout out to Matt Randall. He had a spare one from an event he ran. I gave all my event ones away at my last event for A Song of Ice and Fire, and so I didn't have one. And so he had a spare, and he shot it over to me. So he is a hero. Because I want this guy to be my NCU version of Roos, where he's holding the knife behind his back and being like, sure, Lady Catelyn, here, come to me. And then he stabs her. And so yeah, that's my next couple things I'm gonna be working on for my my Boltons to try and get them up to full like fighting strength so they can play 40 points. I do need to get a unit of Cutthroats painted too, because that's my last little thing to make them real boys and get to play like an actual 40-point game with them. And then I'm working on my Tidecaster and Soul Render for my my Idoneth Deepkin, along with some Namarti Reavers, and that's gonna take me up to 1,500 points. Well, with some allies, 1,500 points. So I can play a game next week against Owen's Gratz, his Gloomspite Gits. I'm working on the last 2 of my Drowned Earth Wayfinders, and that's because I got a buddy who's super stoked about Drowned Earth, and he just ordered a bunch of bondsmen. So I'm stoked to play him. Somebody, Jason, who's played a lot of this test with me. We're gonna be working on some post-apocalyptic Drowned Earth stuff, and then I'm gonna finish off my Varuna. Just to get like the last of my Varuna stuff painted. I got my other 2 orcs here, the HMG and another multi-rifle / combi rifle guy. And then 2 more Fusiliers, just a regular Fusilier combi and HMG. I do need to find a Bipandra, because, anyway. And then I've got my HPT I'll do specifically for them, which is Runny Lady. I can't remember what she's from. She might actually be from the one with Bipandra, but I have her for some reason, and I want to do one that's based the same as my my Varuna. So there's the current plan for next week. I don't know if I'll get it all done. I'll probably I'm just going to finish Roos because he's like 90% finished and get him done. And then my Reavers and my Tidecaster and stuff need to get finished. And then probably those 2 guys, and then probably these guys next. So you got another On the Paint Table done and on the books, the first one for 2019. If you want to see what I get done next week, tune in on Saturday, and you can follow up and see what got done. Tune in tomorrow for Witches and Wonders, and we'll see you for more battle reports, I guess, Monday, Friday next week. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.